For the Japanese people, Ikigai is as much a way of life as an idea. Although it may sound as if these ideas of finding and living in a meaningful way is a simplistic one, its effects are nonetheless far-reaching. In the course of this episode, we will get into what has made the concept of Ikigai so popular around the world. We will explore how the Japanese define and share the concept and why it appears to have such a profound effect on their lifestyle and the population's longevity. As you will gradually find out through the episode, the book has more than one purpose. It explores the Ikigai-inspired lifestyle habits that help us live a long and healthy life. These include our ability to manage stress, avoid a sedentary lifestyle, value emotional awareness, develop a positive attitude, and get adequate sleep. In this episode, I will be taking you through the key concepts and themes that have been explained so beautifully by the authors. We will learn about the Okinawa province in Japan, an area that has become quite popular for its citizens, who lead unusually long lives. We will look at figures in popular culture who have tried to adopt the practices of Ikigai into their work, making their work stand the test of time. We will look at the lifestyle practices of Okinawan residents and study what makes them live longer, their eating habits, the types of food they consume. How does all of these inform why the people of Okinawa are among the healthiest people in the world? You're going to hear about how well received this book has been around the world, with readers gushing about how it has helped them on their journey to self-fulfillment. There are some excellent quotes that you will come across in this book that really explain incisively how to implement the lifestyle practices that the authors have told us about. Just as the book does, let me take you on a journey to find your reason for living, to find your Ikigai. You are listening to a review of the book Ikigai, The Japanese Secret to a Long and Happy Life, co-authored by Hector Garcia and Francesc Miralles. This book was originally written in Spanish and has been translated into English by Heather Clary. It was published by Penguin Random House. Us human beings are a curious bunch. The habit of being inquisitive is ingrained in all of us from birth itself. As a result, we ask a whole lot of questions about everything around us, from the trivial to the existential. And the questions at the top of that list are some age-old ones. What is our purpose in life? What are our reasons to keep on living? What is the key to bring about happiness in our lives? Surely, the person who has figured these out is the one who's going to live a long and happy life. Imagine waking up every day and knowing exactly what to do, when to do it, and going about your day with no hurdles whatsoever. Does it sound overwhelming, impossible? Figuring all these out isn't that simple, is it? Do not worry. The book Ikigai has made this problem a bit easier to solve. An international bestseller, the content of the book explores what we all aspire to: a long and happy life, and is explained through the lens of traditional Japanese philosophical and spiritual concepts. It has become so popular that it has been translated into 59 languages and holds the distinction of being the most translated book originally written in Spanish. An interesting tidbit about Ikigai is that it was also the #1 best-selling book in India for 2 consecutive years, in 2019 and 2020. The book has been a boon for people all over the world who are constantly striving to motivate and inspire themselves in order to lead a happy and fulfilling life. The Japanese believe that everyone has an ikigai, a word that translates to a reason for living, something that gives a person a sense of purpose. The basis for the book is a village in Japan, a blue zone region called Ogimi, which is situated in the province called Okinawa. The term blue zone is used to define the places in the world where people live the longest. And Ogimi has become famous for its residents who live longer than the average person living anywhere else in the world. The book has been inspired by the lives of several Ogimi residents, especially the centenarians of the village, who are still living a healthy and fulfilling life. One of the finest qualities about the book is the simple and profound way in which it is written. Both the authors have managed to lay bare the basics of the Ikigai philosophy with great clarity, along with its practical applications in our day-to-day lives. Garcia and Miralles have also provided the readers with real-life examples of successful individuals who have imbibed the sense of Ikigai in their lives. According to the residents of Ogimi, finding Ikigai, a reason to live, is the key to a happier and longer life. Ikigai can be defined as a state of mind where our passions, missions, vocations and professions intersect. And the meaning of life may just be found at this particular intersection. Having a strong sense of Ikigai means that each day is filled with meaning and purpose. It's the reason we get up in the morning. People everywhere are driven by this very purpose. This is also the reason why it is said that Japanese people never really retire. They remain active and work at what they enjoy and derive happiness from it as long as they are able to. The book makes the case that the Japanese have unlocked the secret of life because they have found the real purpose in life, the happiness of always being busy. Now let's discuss some themes that have been covered in great detail, which will give you a little taste of what the book has in store for you. One of the foremost themes discussed in Ikigai is the sense of flow. Flow, according to the book, is the state of mind in which we all have felt the sense of time vanish. When we lose ourselves in an activity that we enjoy doing so much that we forget about our worries while we are doing it. It is the pleasure, delight, creativity and the process when we are completely immersed in the work that we are doing. Only by achieving this, we can say that we have found our very own Ikigai. The experience we find so enjoyable that it involves us to the extent that nothing else matters. We love every bit of what we do. Artists, filmmakers, musicians and dancers are great practitioners of this flow we are discussing about. They are able to achieve the flow in which they are able to enjoy themselves even while doing hectic work. To get into this flow and focus on a particular task, the book tells us two things are of utmost importance. Number one, to create a distraction-free environment around us to work in. And second, to have control over what we are doing at every moment. Now let's look at some real-life examples to learn more about Ikigai. To explain the concept in more detail, the authors have used the example of the life and career of Japanese filmmaker Hayao Miyazaki. He set up his own production company called Studio Ghibli and has directed several great works of animation over the last 4 decades, with films like My Neighbor Totoro and Oscar-winning Spirited Away. He's widely known as someone who's completely absorbed in his art and prefers to do his work without any distractions. It is said that if anybody who goes to the offices of Ghibli, one would see a figure sitting quietly and drawing, completely oblivious of the rest of the world. Miyazaki is an artist capable of becoming completely absorbed in his art. He directs his film by rendering on paper even the tiniest detail, achieving flow by drawing, not by using a computer. After announcing his retirement back in 2016, Miyazaki is making a comeback with a new film that is coming out in 2023. As a subset of the flow that we talked about, the authors have also discussed a concept called microflow. They describe this as a state of mind which enables a person to enjoy and find purpose in whatever task they are performing, however mundane it may be. We all have attended long lectures and have tried to distract ourselves to keep ourselves from being bored. The basic premise of microflow arises from the fact that whenever we are bored and not being challenged in any way, we try to keep ourselves entertained by doing something. Anything interesting. Our ability to turn routine tasks into moments of microflow, into something we enjoy, is the key to being happy. While talking about microflow, the authors tell us the story of Steve Jobs in Japan. Jobs was fascinated by Japan. He visited Sony factories in the 80s when he founded Apple, and he was drawn to simplicity and quality of Japanese porcelain. We can see the influence of Zen philosophy, simplicity, and the word of Ikigai itself in Apple's work and in the design of its products. He discovered an exhibition of porcelain artist Yukio Shakunaga. He was immediately drawn to the work and ended up meeting him in person. He had many questions, especially about the fabrication process and the type of porcelain he used. Jobs' last purchase from Shakunaga was a set of 12 teacups. He had asked him to make something different, special, in a new style. So Shakunaga made 150 cups, testing new ideas. Of these, he chose 12 of the best and sent them to the Jobs family. As mentioned earlier, a major section of the book explores life lessons derived from the centenarians and supercentenarians from the village of Ogimi. It is based on the research and interviews done with more than 100 people from this region. The stories talk about the many secrets about the way they live that contribute to their longevity and happiness. The authors have listed out several tips and directives that the citizens of Ogimi prescribe to live a long life. Some of them include worrying less, cultivating good habits, being optimistic. To read more about this in detail, you will have to pick up the book and open your mind to the wisdom of the senior citizens of the village of Ogimi. Another interesting section of the book explores the eating habits and hygiene of the residents of the Okinawa province, which is said to be a major factor in them leading long lives. According to the World Health Organization, Japan has the highest life expectancy in the world. These hygiene practices have become so popular that the term Okinawa diet is a frequent topic of discussion in nutrition panels all around the world. The locals in Okinawa eat a variety of foods, to an extent of 206 different varieties, on a regular basis. They also consume fruit and vegetables frequently. It is said that more than 30% of the calories consumed by an average Okinawan resident comes from vegetables. Also, people who live in Okinawa are less dependent on sweets and salt for their diet, and as a result, have a much healthier lifestyle compared to others around the world. Some more interesting facts about the eating culture of Okinawan residents include the implementation of a practice called hara hachi bu, a technique in which small portion sizes of food is consumed for better nutrition. Okinawans drink a variety of tea called the sanpin cha, a mix of green tea and jasmine flowers. whose benefits include reduction in the risk of heart attacks and strengthening our immune systems. The authors Garcia and Miralles have also done a fascinating study on the type of exercises that play a hand in extending and improving our physical health. The popular methods of yoga and Tai Chi are elaborately explained, and their benefits are laid out in the book in such a manner that one can easily integrate it into their lives. As I've mentioned before, Ikigai has become very popular with people all over the world, especially due to its themes that explore self-improvement and providing us with a definite roadmap on how to live a long life. The book, through anecdotes and lists of different kinds, has provided readers with an action plan that they can put to use in their daily lives. An entire section of the book is dedicated to listing down the 10 rules of Ikigai. The first rule is staying active constantly and not retiring. The key is to always stay busy and keep doing things of value even after you retire from your profession. The second rule asks us to lead an unhurried life and be calm and composed during times of distress. If we are successful in doing this, life and time can take on a new meaning. The third rule is to live in the present and enjoy the moment. Worrying about the past or the future is a pointless task, as it prevents us from what we have right now. We have to learn to make the most of the time that we have and make it worth it. To read about the rest of the rules in the list, pick up the book and trust me, you will be treated to a blissful time. Now comes the most interesting part that I love about Ikigai. The beautiful and memorable quotes that have been sprinkled throughout the book. The words of wisdom have been sourced directly from the elders of the Ogimi village, which gives it a sense of special significance. The authors themselves have been able to list out several extraordinary quotes with their use of prose. Let me list some of the best ones. Instead of searching for beauty in perfection, we should look for it in things that are flawed, incomplete. Here's another quote. Stop regretting the past and fearing the future. Today is all you have. Make the most of it. Make it worth remembering. And the one that I love the most, life is pure imperfection. As the philosophy of wabi-sabi teaches us, and the passage of time shows us that everything is fleeting. But if you have a clear sense of your Ikigai, each moment will hold so many possibilities that it will seem almost like an eternity. Ikigai has been co-authored by Hector Garcia and Francesc Miralles. Garcia grew up in Spain and worked in Switzerland before moving to Japan, which has been his home now for almost 2 decades. While in Tokyo, he makes a living in the IT industry. Initially, he began as a regular blog writer, which later led to the international bestsellers, A Geek in Japan, and later, The Magic of Japan. To this day, he has published 10 books, the latest one being his first work of fiction in the Spanish language. Co-writer Miralles is an award-winning author who has written a number of best-selling self-help and inspirational books. Born in Barcelona, he studied journalism, English literature, and German, and has donned many hats throughout his long career. As an editor, a translator, a ghostwriter, and a musician. His novel Love in Lowercase has been translated into 20 languages. Now let me tell you a very interesting story about how the idea for this wonderful book came about. Garcia and Miralles tell us that the idea for the book came into being in Tokyo when they met for the first time. During their meeting, they ended up talking about trends in Western psychology. specifically a concept called logotherapy, which helps people find their purpose in life. They discussed how people still search for meaning in what they do and how they live. All of us contemplate things like, what is the meaning of my life? Is the point just to live longer, or should I seek a higher purpose? Why do some people know what they want and have a passion for life while others languish in confusion? At some point in their conversation, the mysterious word Ikigai came up. While researching this concept, they went on to discover that not a single book in the field of psychology or personal development has been dedicated to bringing this philosophy to the West or spreading it around the world. Both the authors have not just studied Japanese culture, traditions, and philosophies thoroughly, but have also experienced it firsthand. And these experiences have formed the basis for their book, Ikigai. The fact that Ikigai has been translated into 59 languages provides a peek into the level of cultural popularity that the book has been able to achieve. People have remarked about how they have managed to integrate the teachings provided in the book in their day-to-day lives and how it has helped them improve their lifestyle. Let me read some reviews of this book that may persuade you to seek it out. A reader says, a simple book about life, a long and happy life, that can be so universal for any person in the current world. This book is for everyone, poor or rich, happy or unhappy, modern or old-fashioned, young or old. It may change the way that you see yourself. Do not be afraid to read it and enjoy the universal secret of a long and happy life. Another reader says, a very enjoyable book, especially made for folks who like to learn about other people and more about themselves as well. It's gentle and informative, giving thoughts on everything from how people tune their minds to different forms of exercise, as well as information on how people in certain parts of Japan live their lives. It is given in such a way so as to feel more like we are visiting than reading. And my favorite review. The book Ikigai must be read by all those people who don't enjoy their work and are frustrated, or who are stressed and busy in their work and hardly live their life, or who don't have a purpose in life and feel lost, or who are discouraged by failures, or all of the above. This book can also help those who don't have a good lifestyle, eat junk foods, don't exercise, drink, smoke, etc. Ikigai can make anyone understand the importance of living a purposeful life. I will recommend this book to anyone who wants to live a long, happy and purposeful life. The concept of having a long lifespan is so intriguing, isn't it? If you really think about it, it's what we really aspire to. Living a long life, spending time with our loved ones, and gaining a sense of fulfillment and peace before we bid our goodbyes. Of course, there are many people who will tell you that they do not care about how and when they die. But I assure you, everyone longs to have a long life. Taking this intriguing concept and weaving some wonderful stories around it is the achievement of Hector Garcia and Francisco Miralles. Using these stories of the senior citizens of the Okinawa as a premise, the two authors have managed to impart some great lessons that we all can inculcate in our lives. So, that was the short glimpse into the wonderful book called Ikigai. We all live in the hope of finding our purpose in life. It is what drives us, inspires us. I hope all of us find our purpose someday. our reason for living, our Ikigai.
If your journey feels stuck, you're not alone. We've got you. If you found value in this video, don't forget to hit that like button. It helps more curious minds discover this content. Subscribe to Being and Beyond and join a growing community that thrives on knowledge, perspective, and personal growth. And if this video resonated with you, share it with someone who needs to hear it today. Your support fuels our passion and pushes us to create better content. Welcome to Being and Beyond.